Stephen King's It shows that the true horror lies within us. We are the clowns, because we keep reading really long books by Stephen King. First published in 1986, Stephen King's It is the horror story. It is iconic. It has cemented itself into the literary canon, whether you like it or not. It is the Stephen King novel. If you ask any Joe Blogs or Jane Doe, name a Stephen King book, they are going to say 9 times out of 10, It. It was King's, it seems almost ridiculous to say this, it was his 22nd novel, technically his 17th that were written under the name Stephen King. You know, I actually need to find out how many novels he's read. I mean, it's gotta be over like 100, surely. 65! Wow! This is my second Stephen King novel that I have read. The first one being The Stand, because everyone on the internet says that the long ones are the best. And I have reviewed The Stand, so I'll leave my review down below. And here's a snippet. 1,000 pages! 1,000 pages was like the most ultimate get-out clause that you could ever bloody imagine. Because I have done this, would I recommend as an intro to Stephen King you start off reading the 2 longest ones? No. Absolutely not. It is one of the worst decisions I have ever decided to make. I tried to read The Stand as quickly as possible, but I've been taking my time with it, so much so I've taken it out of the library 3 times. Early October 2022, just before the new year, and 2 weeks ago. It's taken me a long time, and I want to get this out of the way. I've seen people online who have read it in 24 hours, and I'm there going, that's ridiculous. And now that I've read it, that is ridiculous. I am calling complete BS. Unless you have the innate ability to continually be switched on while an audiobook screeches past you at 3 times speed, there's no chance you would take in any of this in. Maybe if you won a ritual of chewed against your own self, no chance. And if you comment saying that you have done it in 24 hours, let me quote Stephen King's It at you. We best lie when we lie to ourselves. Look in the mirror, goddammit. I digress. I would speculate to say that there are 2 main people who have come to watch this. The people who have read and the people who've engaged in the film. I want to know what are the major differences. We're not going to discuss the miniseries. I'm not OG enough for that. There are many differences between the film and the book. The starkest difference is that the book is not linear like the films. We are constantly moving backwards and forwards between time, meaning that King allows the reader a deeper insight and understanding to the losers' clubs to when they were kids and was informed them as adults. The other big difference, and this happens in the last 100 pages of the novel, is that, well, Stephen King really wanted to go out with a bang. Yes, there is a gangbang. And if you're thinking, wow, I didn't know that the losers clubs had an orgy when they were adults, oh sweet summer child, really brings the phrase taking one for the team to a whole different level. Personally, I couldn't think of a worse way to calm down. Another difference is that one of the characters doesn't really shine in the film. When you're moving to that cinematic medium, it's quite difficult to do this, and that is the character of Derry, Maine. Derry is not only the place, the backdrop, the mise-en-scène where the losers clubs and it engage. It is its own character. It provides the story, the folklore, and the history to why it is coming to terrorize the losers club. Mike, who will ultimately become the town library, yes, Mike. His role is to delve into the folklore, almost, of it, just like his father had done all those years ago. Mike is continuing that legacy. The history of Derry was actually influenced by King's own research into the folklore and mythology of the Bangor sewer system in Maine. Now, do we not learn anything from Victor Hugo, which is narratives that take place in a sewer are predominantly très misérable. Sewer lit is not my thing. Before someone mentions, but what about Infinite Jest? It's human to air. It's human to air, goddammit. There is the old adage that is true, that is history repeats itself, but I assure you history does not repeat itself as much as Stephen goddamn King. Must be a Kingism, it happened with The Stand. Similar to The Stand, there is excessive information dumping and excessive backstory of minor characters that really have nothing to do with anything. Why is there so much information? I mean, this is it uncut. But it feels as though it is cut, because throughout this ride I began to lose all sensation and pleasure. I wish, like the Losers Club, I could forget everything. Not to the extent that I forget the dog in the fridge, or forget the book. I wish. Alas, I can't. Because you know what? I quite liked it. Now, I'm not a King convert, and I'm not rushing out to the library to get any of his other books. I found from reading 2 of King's longest novels what I like about King and what I don't like about King. And I understand why a lot of people enjoy his work. He's extremely well versed in describing what is currently going on. It might be in too much depth, it might be a bit too blasé, but I, just like many a horror aficionados, can say that I finished it passively. And maybe if you've yet to pick this up, you'll float through.